Good evening. I'm Seamus McRae, and I'm the Promotions Director for the Hampton History Museum. And I want to welcome you to another in our virtual Front Porch Music Series events. Each month, on the third Wednesday of the month, we bring in some of the best of the local music here in Hampton Roads to explore various types of roots music. And that could be either country, blues, bluegrass, folk, you name it. And tonight we have a very special event here in that we're bringing on Gaye Adegbalola, who is a world-renowned performer. She's here with us now. And tonight's event is going to be songs from the Griot, using traditional blues to tell contemporary stories. And you may be familiar with Gaye from her work as in Sapphire, the Upper East Blues Women. She was a founding member there. But before that, she was actually an educator, and she moonlighted as a musician. And fortunately for us, she went on to earn many awards, not only as an educator, but as a musician. And she's also been named the Out Person of the Year for Virginia for her work that she's done in promoting GLBT equality. So she's very accomplished. She'll tell you a little bit more about the role of a griot in West Africa, the person, traveling musician that would share traditional stories and songs. And Gaye sees herself as a griot. And she's also tell you about a little bit more about the blues, because the blues is about what gives us trouble. So without any further ado, I'd like to bring our very special guest, Gaye Adegbalola, in to entertain and educate. Thank you very much.
Good evening, Hampton, and good evening, anybody listening this evening. I am a griot, and basically that means I am a storyteller. So right now, I'm going to give you just a little summary of some Black folks' history. Sit-ins and picket lines for civil rights. Dogs and water hoses, crosses burning in the night. Was down in Mississippi that Emmett Till was lynched. Then down in Texas, James Byrd was dragged and hitched. James Byrd, a righteous name we know. Just change that James to Jim, and the bird is still a crow. Change, nothing has changed. Change, nothing has changed. Washed and ironed all the white folks' clothes. Nursed their babies, now she works in nursing homes. Had to be twice as good to get half a chance. Still fired first, then hired last. They talk about her glass ceiling. Well, don't you know she's down on her knees on a concrete floor. Change, nothing has changed. Change, nothing has changed. Yeah, landless against the landlord at home or abroad. Nothing's really changed for what it's worth. They got you coming, got you going. It's all based on greed. You rent to own and the interest make you bleed. Used to buy from old master at the company store. They call it MasterCard. It keeps the people poor. Change, nothing has changed. Change, nothing has changed. You know, KKK and the Nazis marching Charlottesville, spewing hate, carrying guns, wanting blood to spill. They'll salute Hitler and their president. They wave their rebel flags like the war ain't over yet. Or some will stand against them, for democracy is true. Star-spangled love in the red, white, and blue. Change, has it really changed? Change. Nothing has changed. Yeah, millions saw the vicious murder, millions felt the need, millions said his name, as millions took the streets, millions cried for justice, millions marched worldwide, millions were not violent, while another black man died, shot him in the back 7 times, shot him when he run, shot her in her bed, they saw what racists do for fun. Change. Oh, I don't think it's change. Change. Has it really changed? Hey, how can I be angry? There's been some changes, true. Too slowly in my lifetime. There's much more we can do. Anytime a child is hungry, anytime there's homeless men, anytime there is no doctor and there is no medicine, anytime there's ethnic cleansing, anytime there's genocide, anytime there's been a hate crime and freedom's been denied. Change. Oh, nothing has changed. Change. Has it really changed? Anytime there is a war, anytime persecution, anytime we meet up face to face with discrimination, how can I be angry? There's been some changes, true. Too slowly in my lifetime, there's much more we can do. Gotta make a change now, gotta make a change. Oh, one by one now, two by two now. We gotta make a change. Hey, yeah, we gotta make a change. Yeah, that's a little abbreviated history in 3 minutes. I think that was about 3 minutes. I just recently wrote that last verse about millions saw the vicious murder. Millions felt the need. Millions said his name. And millions took to the streets. Millions cried for justice. Millions marched worldwide. And millions were not violent while another black man died. I had a hard time because I haven't written anything during this pandemic. I haven't been able to come up with my own way to tell a story because it's just been so painful. And that's what a griot does. A griot maintains the history. And part of what I also try to maintain is the blues. And the blues is about that which gives you trouble. Most times for a man it's a woman, and for a woman it's a man, most times. But there are other things, special social things that give us trouble. And I have really tried to take on some of that as a griot, and especially given the nature of the times. Now I want to show you how I try to take from the past and bring it to the future. So let's go way, way back with the blues. And we have to remember that the first blues that was recorded and the first music that was commercially viable was from the blues women of the 1920s. So let's just start with this. I want to do a typical 12-bar blues, and it has the chord structure called 1-4-5. That the key that you're in is the 1 chord. So if we are starting in the key of C, and then 4 chords away, C, D, E, F would be the 4 chord. You come back to the 1 chord, that's C, and then you go to the 5 chord, which would be C, D, E, F, G. All right, so in this first blues we're going to do, it's by Ma Rainey, and it's called C.C. Rider. It's in the public domain. C.C., for black people, often stood for a county circuit, and the county circuit rider was usually the preacher man who preached at one church on the first Sunday, and Piney Branch on the second Sunday, and Mount Zion on the third Sunday, and what have you. You got the idea. So I'm just going to kind of count off the measures here. C.C. Rider, 2, 3. C minor 4. See what you have done. I think I better sing the song and then come back on it. Well, you made me love you. Now your gal has come. Okay, now I'll count it off so you can see the chords. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, 3, 4. 5, 2, 3, 4. 6, 2, 3, 4. 7, 2, 3, 4. 8, 2, 3, 4. 9, 2, 3, 4. 10, 2, 3, 4. 11, 2, 3, 4. 12, 2, 3. That's 12 bars right there. Okay? Magically. Blues is the roots, and almost every other kind of American music is the fruits. So soul music, rock and roll, gospel music, if you will, all grew out of that structure right there. Now watch what happens. Let's put it in a different key, and I'm going to give it the same 12 bars, but this time I'm going to give you what you call a quick 4. So I'm going to the 4 chord, and then I'm going back to the 1 chord. To the 4 chord, back to the 1 chord. And I'm strumming instead of finger picking. Give you a little bigger sound there. This is another public domain tune. Lucille Bogan started it off. And she said, I'll be your sweet black angel. You're gonna love the way I spread my wings. I'll be your sweet black angel. Yeah, you're gonna love the way I spread my wings. 'Cause when I spread my wings around you, you're gonna find joy in everything. So that's 12 bars. Now with your standard 12-bar blues, the first line is repeated a second time. And then your third line kind of like provides the answer to the first 2 lines. So you have AAB, if you will. So now I took that form, just that pure form, and here's a song about contemporary times. And I'll tell you when I wrote it as soon as I finish it here. I'll keep it in the same key. If it had been a dog, you know, they would have gone to jail. If they had been kicking on a dog, beating on a dog, kneeling on a dog, they would have gone to jail. Well, when they kick and beat a colored man, all those madmen go unchained. I say, go down, sunshine, see what tomorrow will bring. Yeah, go down, sunshine, see what tomorrow will bring. Yeah, it might bring more sunshine, it might bring clouds, but we're praying for rain. You know my rage is rising. Violence, unemployment, sickness and disease. I said my rage is rising. There's violence, there's sickness, there's unemployment, and there's disease. sheets. You know I got scars on my knees. I'm praying for my rage to cease. Yeah, if it had been a dog, they would have gone to jail. Yes, if they'd been beating on a dog, killing on a dog, kneeling on a dog, they would have gone to jail. But when they kick a colored man, yeah, oh, when they kill a colored man, this madness goes unchanged. 12-bar blues with quick four. I wrote that song after the Rodney King beating in 1992. So that song is almost 30 years old. And of course, I twisted it just a little bit because I said my mama was on her knees praying for my rage to cease, but my mom has left us. So I had to tweak the lyrics. And now we take a 12-bar blues and we just fancy it up a little bit. Some of you might know this. This is still 1-4-5, but they fancied it up a little bit, and this is a standard Jimmy Reed riff, but I'll only play like a little taste of it. Big boss man, don't you hear me when I call? Repeat the first line. Here we go. Big boss man, don't you hear me when I call? Well, it ain't so big. He's just tall as long. So in there, and that was a hit in 1960. Okay, but he's talking about his working conditions. You got me working, boss man, working round the clock. I want a little drink of water, but you won't let poor Jimmy stop. Big boss man, don't you hear me when I call? So, similar message, but I use that same riff, that same format, and I'm drinking lots of water because I'm on medication. And this one, I wrote basically for what we call certified nursing assistants. And they work in nursing homes and they get the lowest pay, especially hard during these pandemic times. Found a job when I was beat till I got back on my feet. Seems I spent my entire life changing dirty sheets, dirty sheets, dirty sheets. What's a poor girl supposed to do? I got the sick and tired of changing somebody else's dirty sheet blues. I work my fingers to the bone. I can't get any kind of loan. I work 40 plus hours a week, and I still can't afford a home. Dirty sheets, dirty sheets. Oh, what is this poor girl supposed to do? Yeah, I got them sick and tired of changing somebody else's dirty sheet blues. When I try to find another job, when I try to find another job, they say, use this computer to apply. I know I can do the job, but I can't read how to apply. What am I supposed to do? Yeah, I got them sick and tired of changing somebody else's pandemic, dirty sheet blues. I be dealing with the slime, I be dealing with the grind. What I wanna know is where to place the crime. Dirty sheets, dirty sheets. What is this poor girl supposed to do? Yeah, I got them sick and tired of changing somebody else's dirty sheet blues. You know they say the globe is shrinking and the dollar's shrinking too. But right here in America, a working person can be homeless too. Dirty sheets, my life is slavery. You know my only hope for freedom is to hit the lottery. Yes. You know, that last verse, I was actually in the post office, and a young lady was telling me about how she was taking her last $2 to buy a lottery ticket. And I heard this woman behind us mumble, "That's what they do with their money." Not understanding at all that there was no hope elsewhere, anywhere, ever. So I tried to document it as best I could. And now if we look at these times that we're in, these times that we are presently in, pandemic times, we know that more deaths are in nursing home than anywhere else. And don't even think about the fact that these poor women who are changing dirty sheets have the least pay of any of us. So let me go on to a different blues form, just so that you can just see a little taste here. This is another song from the 20s, Ida Cox, and she says, I hear you women talking about your monkey men, about your no-care husbands and your trifling friends. These poor women sit around all day and moan. They're wondering why they're wondering papas don't come home. Wild women don't worry, wild women never get the blues. Now that's basically a 1-4-5 blues, but on the 5 chord we're gonna go up. Don't come home, and make it a little bit more sophisticated, if you will. And I love that song because it's what you call a boogie. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. 1 and 2 and 3. So a boogie, you hit it in the middle of the note instead of 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and it's a real piano player's workout. So when I heard that, it was like, oh my goodness. Well, let me document some other things about us, that which gives you trouble. The blues is about that which gives you trouble. Now, mind you, everybody who's listening right now, if you have questions about the blues form, or if you have questions about the originals I'm singing, just jot a little question in your chat room over there, and we're going to get to it, because we're going to have Q&A after this. So I stole that form right there. That's what we do. That's the folk process. And that's the way you keep tradition alive. You take it and you bend it, you make it your own. So in that song, when we got to the 5 chord, we went. So I'm going to use the same chord structure, but when I get to the 5 chord, I'm going to go down to a minor chord right there. So it goes, and this song right here was perhaps Sapphire's most successful recording, and it was definitely my most successful recording, because basically the royalties from this song put my son through college. It was recorded on Sapphire's first CD, which came out in 1990. So that was 30 years ago. And 30 years ago, there was no such thing as a cougar. A cougar wasn't even known about then. So we created cougardom, if you will. And it went like this. Well, I was looking around and checking out my very best friends. Seems that they'd all taken up with young men. Seems that when you reach around middle age, you don't want a final chapter. You want another page. I need a young man to drive away my middle age blues. Well, seems that in my age are all married, boring, I'm tired. You gotta find a young man if you wanna feel desire. Now, some of my friends is worried about what people may say. I said age ain't nothing but a number, the good Lord made it that way. A young man to drive away my middle age blues. I say that he can get up, you know that he can get on down. He'll help you do the dishes, take you out on the town. He'll let you navigate, cause he ain't worried about seniority. Gonna tell him where to put it. He better have it as his priority. I need a young man. Yeah, I need a young man. I need a young man to drive away my middle age blues. I say I'll forget my arthritis, my backache, my lumbago. That young man makes me boogie at the horizontal disco. I'm cleaning up my closet, I'm no longer sentimental. Forget about experience, I'd rather have potential. A young thing to drive away my middle age blues. Well, I don't need no reefer, I don't need no cocaine. All I need is a young thing to drive me insane. I'm throwing away my dust mop, got a brand new vacuum cleaner. I'm no longer taken for granted. I holler Eureka, a young thing to drive away my middle age blues. I said, old woman don't yell, an old woman don't tell, an old woman don't smell, and she is grateful as hell. I need a young man. Yeah, I need a young man. I need a young man to drive away my middle age blues. Easy now. I say that age ain't nothing but a number. You know that age ain't nothing but a number, y'all. I say that age ain't nothing but a number. You know that age ain't nothing but a number. And like a rare wine, you don't get older, you just get better. Give me a young man. Woo! That's a whole lot of words in that song. Yeah, my tongue kind of got tongue-tied a couple of times, but I don't remember the last time I played that song. Good gracious. I've been doing more topical songs lately. But back in the day, that was topical. Because back in the day, it was awful for an older woman to have a younger man. But this song gave people permission to love, and that was a good thing. Let me get a little topical. Let me go on back. Let's forget about the love thing and go on back. I'm checking my time because I have quite a bit of material to share, and you know we can't do it all, but this is real important because sometimes when you're keeping tradition alive and you're keeping history alive, all it takes is a riff. Now, if you notice, when I started playing Nothing's Changed at the very beginning, sit-ins and picket lines for civil rights, dogs and motor hoses, crosses burning in the night. Now, here's the riff. That riff is from Son House's Death Letter Blues. And in it, he says that he got a letter, a wire really, telling him that his love was dead and he had to hurry home. And when he got home, she was on the cooling board, which is how people used to be put to rest. They had their bodies had to cool and they'd have a wake. And when he got there, she was on the cooling board. So, of course, I stole the riff and I rewrote some words. And I wrote it in 2013. So I called it Death Letter Blues 2013. And it goes like this. So you just take a riff and you maintain the tradition of that riff. Got a call this morning, reckon what it said, hurry, hurry, your boy is dead. Got a call this morning, reckon what it said. It said, hurry, hurry, your child is dead. Yeah, I grabbed my suitcase, I heard him down the road. When I got there, he was laying on the corner's board. Yeah, I grabbed my car keys, I had it right on down the road. Yeah, when I got there, he was laying on the corner's board. Yes, he was there all night, alone and unclaimed. Nobody bothered to learn my baby's name. Yeah, he was there all night, alone and unclaimed. Nobody bothered to learn my baby's name. Oh, I walked up close, I looked down in his face. That's when I saw that bullet hole right near his heart's place. I walked up close, I looked down in my baby's face. Yeah, that's when I saw that bullet hole right near his heart's place. I said, hush, I think I heard him call my name. I said, hush, I think I heard him call my name. Was not so loud, but it was so doggone plain. Mama, 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 yeah, my boy was a sweet boy. I was my baby killed. Oh, he was walking home to me when his blood was spilled. My boy was a sweet boy. Why was my baby killed? He was walking home to me when his blood was spilled. Oh, everybody's telling me his death won't be in vain. Is that supposed to comfort me? Will that ease his pain? Yeah, everybody's telling me his death won't be in vain. Oh, if that's supposed to comfort me, will it ease my pain? Will it ease my pain? Yeah, will it ease my pain? Will it ease my pain? Yeah, will it ease my pain? Death Letter 2013. And when you write, you have to start to think about, when you write songs, you need to think about who are you writing as? Are you going to be the singer or the singee? Are you singing to somebody? Are you singing of yourself? And in that particular song, I tried to sing as though I was Trayvon Martin's mom. That's what happened in 2013. And so I borrowed from Sun House and made the song my own. Let's get uptown a little bit. A lot of the blues women of the 1920s, they were actually quite sophisticated. They were the comedians, they were the poor person psychiatrists, they were the advice givers, they were the style setters, and they kind of combined folk blues with vaudeville type styling. Oh, they would take the stage and they would walk and promenade and just be as sharp as they could be. And some of them did what later grew into what we call rags. And here's a rag type thing. I'll do this because I know you'll recognize it. Dun, 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 dun. Dum, 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 Sweet Georgia Brown. Okay, so just lift the chords. And at this particular time, some people were having a hard time finding work, and other people weren't even looking for it. And of course, I had to write a song about it. It's kind of out of place in this era of the pandemic, but you'll see. Unemployment, no smiling man. Unemployment's no joke. Especially when you're living with me and all you is broke. I get up early in the morning, I go off to work. I work hard, my back is strong. I come home in the evening, you say you miss me all day long. But baby, how can I say I miss you when I can't get you to leave? Oh, how can I feel loneliness? I don't have room to breathe. You said that you take care of me, well, I think I've been deceived. How can I say I miss you when I can't get you to leave? You know you sit all day watching television, looking at the soaps, but soap ain't hit a single dish that you're smoking up all of that dope. You say you're too good to work at McDonald's. You say Subway has no class. What you can do, start your own business, picking beer cans up in the grass. Oh, baby, how can I say I miss you when I can't get you to leave? Oh, how can I feel loneliness? I don't have room to breathe. You said that you take care of me. I know I've been deceived. How can I say I miss you when I can't get you to leave? You know that all you do is put a smile on my face and help me to go to sleep. But machines can do that just as well, and batteries are cheaper. Well, all that's good, all that's fine. I ain't going for that. It's time for me to grab the dog, find me a brand new cat. Meow. Unemployment's no joke, especially when you're living with me and all you is broke. You said that you take care of me. Well, fine. How can I get you to leave, oh my sweet baby? How can I get you to leave? I think I forgot the riff at the end. Okay, I won't go back through it again. You get the idea. But you take these chords and you just tweak them a bit and get to something a little more sophisticated. And I'm going to show you how I put together the chord structure. But then on this particular song, you will hear the chord changes. All I stole, or the only thing I'm taking from tradition, that I'm bringing into this contemporary song is the rhythm. Some of you are going to know this rhythm if you're around about my age anyway. And I know, or if you're a little bit younger, you probably know this riff. You know this beat. No. Bo Diddley lived on the hill. One, two, three, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. That's the Bo Diddley beat. Everybody knows that's the Bo Diddley beat. So I am using the Bo Diddley beat. I've used it more than once. Everybody who is a professional musician has probably used the Bo Diddley beat at some point. It's so cool. It is such a cool rhythm. And one thing I liked about Bo Diddley, here y'all are at the museum now, you know, when you go back and look at some of these old film clips, Bo Diddley usually always had a woman in his band. He was kind of like the Prince of his era, just like Prince always had women in his band. Bo Diddley always had either a guitar player or maraca player and background singers. He always had women in his band. So anyway, that was just an aside. But this song might trigger some comments that will be interesting. So here we go. I look at this baby boy. He's just a baby boy to me. I want to hold him. I console him. And I want to thank him for taking a knee for me. Yeah, if I could meet him now, you know, I'd have to pat his hair. I'd hold him close. Deep in his eyes I would stare. Oh, say can you see? You fell on sword and broke me. Yeah. He did not raise his fist in a mean, mean way. He got down on his knee, a humble way to pray. With worldwide television, he prayed to call attention to brutality and injustice to black people every day. A sacrifice like the greatest. With integrity, they twisted and trumped his intent. His whole life work was spent. Oh, say can you see? You're winning the game for me. Yeah, if I could meet him now, in my hands I'd hold his face, I'd hold him close, mirror his eyes, and I'd have to say, oh, say can you see? You are my new Muhammad Ali. He did not raise his fist in a mean, mean way. He got down on his knee, a humble way to pray. With worldwide television, he prayed to call attention to brutality and injustice to black people every day. A sacrifice like the greatest. With integrity, they twisted and trumped his intent. His whole life work was spent. Oh, say can you see? You are my new Muhammad Ali. Yeah, you woke me. Oh, Colin woke me. Oh, thank you, Colin. You know you woke me. And I was woke way back when. Mohammed woke me. And Colin, you woke me again. Yeah, I'm so thankful. Yeah, I'm so thankful. Oh, thank you for letting me be myself again. Oh, thank you, Colin. Yeah. So I've gotten some pushbacks. A lot of black folks have said, oh, Colin Kaepernick, he won't like no Muhammad Ali. Oh, no, he was, oh, hey, I didn't say that. What I said was what he did for me. Because I had gotten kind of complacent. And when I saw him give up his life's work, well, he didn't give it up, but they twisted what his intent was, especially some people. And okay, so I'm going to close out. I'm going to do one more song that is simply a Gaye Adegbalola song. All these different things that I've shared here, I've kind of put them in a pot and boiled them down and twisted them around. And I'm going to go back to slide over here. Uh-oh. Let me see. I left this humming. There we go. I'm going back over here. And right along in here right now, at the moment, you know, you go from week to week and you have a different favorite song each week. Well, this is my favorite song at the moment. It's called Liaria. It'll take some of y'all a minute or two to get there. This particular riff I learned from a young woman here in my hometown, a young woman named Lisa Lim, who's an ass-kicking guitar player. There are lies of omission, commission too. No matter how you perpetrate, my God will haunt you. 'Cause God don't like ugly, and you ugly to the bone. Yeah, I'm gonna exercise that ugly, bathe you in my love alone. Yeah, you got a bad case of liaria. You keep running off at the mouth. Your tongue comes from the devil, and your truth is crapping out. Now you sit at the dinner table. You eat our hearts like they were bread. Yeah, all grinning in my face. Oh, filthy lies you spread. Yeah, you got liaria. You got liaria. You got liaria. You got liaria. I'm not bitter, I'm better. I know just what to do. To the hater, to the dictator, vote the hell right out of you. Yeah, you got now. Now you lie to me, you lie to everybody else. Saddest lies of all are the lies you tell yourself. Now you lie to me. You lie to everybody else. Now the saddest lies of all are the ones you tell yourself. Yeah, you got liaria. You got liaria. You got liaria. You got liaria. I'm not better, I'm better. I know just what to do. To that hater, to the dictator, vote the hell right out of you. Oh yeah, you tell so many lies. So many lies. Just makes your face turn orange. Woo! Stinking lies. Dirty lies. Oh, it's gonna take a lot. I think I just need to pray for you. I need to pray for myself too. It's going to take a lot for me to forgive you. And it's forgiveness that brings us closer to the divine. Yeah. Yes. So I would like to thank the museum for having me. This was supposed to be a gig back in April, and of course it was canceled. Everything got canceled. And yeah, so if you feel so inclined, all donations are appreciated. Speaking of getting canceled, all my gigs from mid-March to the end of October had been canceled. I had no dates in November, December, on into next year. We don't know what's going to happen, do we? So anyway, should you want to make donations, here it is back here, Queen. Oh, you can't put it on there, can you? Okay, PayPal, gayblueswoman@gmail.com. That's my email address, right? Or you can go through Cash App, Gay Blues Woman. Yeah. And should you want my CDs, all of them are available on my website. This one is full of topical blues. It's called the Griot, and Adegbalola.com. And the last thing that I want to say to you, my audience who's listening tonight, is that it's not a privilege. It's what we have to do. We must vote. We must vote. As of Friday, you can just walk into the registrar's office. You don't need a ballot. Just go to the office and you can vote. Registrar's office. Or if you're going to do absentee, you need to request a ballot. Or you can stand in the line like you would usually do and cast your ballot on election day. So, there we go. Gaye Adegbalola, the Griot. Over to you.
All right. Well, Gaye, thanks so much. It was a delight. Very interesting and educational, not just the music that you were performing and playing, but also the history of how the music developed. Really appreciated that, and couldn't have asked for a better guest, and especially with this learning experience of doing this remote broadcasting. I think it's something that'll offer a lot of other artists to join us. So thank you very much. Again, it was a delight, and you've been wonderful. So thank you.
Museums have been really hard hit. So whatever you can do, listening audience, to support your museums. We're going to try to keep history alive. And it's important that we tell our own stories. So, yeah, good luck.
Well, thank you. And thank you for sharing your story. And on that note, next month, right here from the Hampton History Museum, we're going to have Jackie Merritt and Reza Gibbs, who you may be familiar with from the MSG Acoustic Blues Trio, is going to be.
They are some of my best friends. I love it. As a matter of fact, both Jackie and Reza are on this CD.
Oh, wow. Well, there you go. See, so buying that CD is an important thing to do, y'all. So since we can't be here selling merch to you live and in person, but I do hope very much that we do have you here down in Hampton when time allows and conditions are right for you to visit us in person. We'd love to meet you. And also, speaking about things that are coming up, this weekend is Bayshore at Buckrow Beach. On Friday and Saturday, our friends from Bayshore Memories are going to have a live or an actual exhibition here in this great hall that you can come in and visit. Of course, social distancing, and bring your masks. But we're going to have a virtual event from this room on Saturday night, 6 to 8 p.m. Reginald Robinson and Judy Leonard of Bayshore Memories are going to be hosting a live event. There's going to be special guests and surprises. And speaking of merchandise, we do have Bayshore merchandise in the gift shop, so you'll be able to purchase that when you visit the museum on Friday and Saturday. Admission to the exhibition will be free, and that's going to be from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. both Saturday and both Friday and Saturday. Do be sure and sign up for our live events. We're going to be having lectures in addition to music. We'd really love to see you all here. So signing off for the Hampton History Museum, I'm Seamus McGran. Thank you very much for tuning in. Good night. Thank you.
Thank you.